Hi everyone, I'm Yaela, and do you know what today is? It is Erev Shabbat. What does that mean? That means Shabbat is coming at nightfall tonight. Do you know what Shabbat is? That is the most relaxing day of the week and the most important of all Jewish holidays. And before Shabbat gets here, and it's almost here, we need to make sure we are ready to celebrate. Let's start by asking, why do we even celebrate Shabbat? Well, in the Torah, God worked for 6 days and rested on the seventh. Then he told the Jewish people to remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. So basically, Shabbat, the Hebrew word for Sabbath, is a day of rest. After a long and busy week, we are commanded by God to rest. How incredibly cool is that? So how does Shabbat start? Let's talk about the traditional Shabbat table. Shabbat, like all Jewish holidays, begins at sunset. So Shabbat starts on Friday evening. Many families begin Shabbat by putting money in a tzedakah box or pushki. We always want to remember to help people in need. Families traditionally welcome Shabbat by making blessings over candles, wine, or grape juice, and challah. Why these items? Some families light the traditional 2 candles. Other families light as many candles as there are people. And if you're part of a big family, that's a lot of candles. The traditional 2 candles each represent a part of the 10 Commandments. One represents the word shamor, which means keep, and the other candle represents the word zachor, which means remember. Traditionally, women make the blessing over the candles. This is considered a time where God is especially open to hearing a woman's personal prayers. Also, girls can begin as early as 3 years old, with mom's help, to light just 1 candle until they marry. In some households, men light the candles. The blessing for the candles is, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, God, ruler of the universe, who has made us holy through your commandments to kindle the light of the Shabbat. Then there's the glass of wine or grape juice. Why do we bless the wine or make kiddush? When we make a blessing over wine or recite the kiddush, we are signifying that the meal we are about to eat is not a normal everyday meal. It is a special and joyous meal. We don't make a kiddush over every meal, just the special ones. The blessing for wine is, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Blessed are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who creates the fruit of the vine. After blessing the wine, it's time to wash hands in preparation for eating. Families either use a hand-washing cup or just wash regularly. The blessing for washing our hands is, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al netilat yadayim. Blessed are you, God, ruler of the universe, who has made us holy through your commandments and commands us concerning the washing of the hands. Now for the blessing of the challah or the Hamotzi. This is the blessing used by many any time a meal is about to be eaten, because we are expressing gratitude for the privilege of eating. But did you also know that saying the Hamotzi also has connection with the Garden of Eden? It's true. After Adam and Eve ate from the tree of knowledge, God said we'd have to work for our food and lives. There's a part of the Hamotzi that says, who brings forth bread from the earth. This part of the blessing talks about a time when there will be enough food in the world for everyone and that we all won't have to work so hard just to put food on the table. Pretty cool, huh? The Hamotzi, the blessing for bread, or on Shabbat challah, is Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has brought forth bread from the earth. Let's review. When we welcome the Shabbat, What items are common to have on our tables? The candles, wine, and challah. Excellent! Those are the three main items on the Shabbat table. Also on Shabbat, husbands sing a beautiful song called Eshes Chayil, a woman of valor. This song is found in Proverbs of the Torah, the Jewish Bible. We celebrate Shabbat day by resting. There are so many ways to do this. Let's talk about some of the ways families honor Shabbat. In some homes, families completely unplug. No electronics all day long. This is an idea that has actually started to spread around the world, even if you're not Jewish, just to have a day without electronics. Other ways families honor Shabbat is by not turning lights on or driving their car. Some families go to shul or synagogue, while others don't. Some families stay home and catch up on reading their favorite books or play with their moms, dads, brothers, sisters, or friends. Talk with your parents about the traditions important to your family. One of the most important parts about Shabbat is that it is a time to have peace in the home between the mom and dad and respect for parents by the children, also known as Shalom Bayit. What kind of relaxing things do you like to do? Do you like to go for a bike ride with your family or maybe take a fun bubble bath? Shabbat is also a great time for families to spend time together. Is there anything you should not do on Shabbat? Work! Shabbat is supposed to be a day of rest. Some families still have to work on Shabbat whether they want to or not. And the hope is that everyone has a day to regroup and relax. Shabbat Shalom. V'zachor, tamid tihiyeh chacham. Shabbat Shalom. And remember, always be clever.
Hey, hey!